Sharon Van Roovendaal is an Olympic gold medalist in the 10 kilometre open water race. Since swimming as a kid, she developed a crossover kick where one leg taps the back of the other leg every second kick. That style of kick allowed her to be very efficient over long distance, where she was able to conserve energy because very little effort went into her kicking.
I love to cross over. It's like, I told my coach, it's like a dance.
However, while this type of kick was efficient, it was stopping her from achieving her top speed when she needed it. Since experiencing a shoulder injury in 2018, she was forced to only use her legs in training for a period of time, which ultimately gave her the time and opportunity to change her technique, which she now uses in some parts of her race. What change did she make to her technique? Did it actually make her faster? And why do some of the best swimmers in the world change their technique halfway through a race? And finally, what would she recommend to an amateur swimmer or triathlete to do with their kick based on her experience over the last 6 years? We'll get into that and more in this video. Imagine reaching the highest possible achievement in your career to then decide to try something completely different. Would you take the risk? That's where Sharon Van Roovendaal found herself after achieving gold in the Rio Olympics. Having had incredible success with her existing technique and always using a crossover kick, she felt deep down that being able to switch to a normal 6-beat kick, like a continuous kick, would give her the extra speed required to be competitive in the coming years. So in 2018, when she was plagued by an injury to her right shoulder, which forced her to rely only on kicking sets for a period of time, it was the unexpected opportunity that gave her the time and practice to become a strong kicker. Having always been very strong with her catch and pull and upper body, after months of kicking, she was able to turn her weakness into a strength. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Even as the fastest swimmer in the world for 10 kilometers, the coordination didn't come easy. And it still feels good on a certain speed, but not on others. As Sharon explained,
I can really do it when I swim fast, but when I would swim in a normal speed or pace, it's super, super slow because it's really, the coordination is so hard for me. Like, I've done the other stuff for 13 years. And then you have to somehow switch. So it took a while, but with sprinting, I've really found the rhythm now. And also, I think the legs and arms match with sprinting as well.
While she now has a deadly 6-beat kick, she's not using it at all times, which leads us on to how to know when to use different types of freestyle, when to change your stroke. As an open water swimmer, you are going to find yourself in dozens of different scenarios and conditions within the one race. And depending on what that race is, you'd better be prepared for what's going to happen. Most elite 10 kilometer races are swum as a steady pace and finish with a sprint for the end. A 6-beat kick allows for a higher top speed, though it does use more energy than a 2 or 4-beat kick or a crossover kick. What we see with some of the best distance swimmers in the world is they're able to switch different kick tempos depending on which part of the race they're up to. And if you're using a 2-beat kick in the final stages of an Olympic 10 kilometer final, you're going to find yourself in trouble when it comes to that last sprint for the line. That's why the better you get at swimming, the better you need to be able to be at changing gears and changing styles to match the race that you're doing. But if you're new to swimming or you've only been into it for 1 or 2 years, does it really matter how you kick and what type of kick you use? Your kick can be like a chainsaw. It can be used as a tool for good to help you chop wood, or it can be used against you and cut off a limb. I've seen so many swimmers ruin all the good things they're doing with their catch and pull by having an ineffective kick, a kick that actually slows them down rather than propelling them forwards. Sharon explained that if she was to teach someone what to do with their kick or to change their kick pattern, this is what she recommended to them.
For long distance, if people swim open water, I'm not changing their kick, for example, would more change their hip position or their head position to get the hips up, but I wouldn't really change their kick, would just make their kick maybe stronger.
3 of the key things I've found to help the average swimmer have a better kick is, number 1, relax the feet and legs. A floppy foot provides a better whipping motion at the back of the kick, which gives you that little bit of lift and propulsion. You can use it for timing and balance, not necessarily propulsion. So a hard kick will tire you quickly. While it will lift your speed over a short period of time, it's more for balance and timing, especially as a newer swimmer. And thirdly, kick sets in warm-up where you're kicking for short intervals, but you're going hard and you're going fast, that will typically develop your kick much better than long and slow kick sets. So you can have a stronger kick, and by doing shorter, fast intervals, that's a great way to develop it as an average swimmer or triathlete. I've found that by coordinating the kick and the catch together can have the biggest positive impact on your speed, which you can see in this video here.